Welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast. My name is Madi and I'm joined by my co-host Ben. It's good to have you join us for this episode.
Yes, hello listeners. Hello, Maddie. Welcome to episode 183. A big happy birthday to you, Maddie, for the other day. You are a massive 11 years old now. Can't believe you were only 9 when we started our podcast.
I've grown a lot since then, Ben.
You sure have, and still growing. Soon you might even be taller than me.
Haha, I'm not so sure about that, but let's see how I go.
Okay, well, let's look at the content of this episode, and we've got the men's team's Premier League game, which ended in yet another draw, with other results meaning that our already very slim chances of winning the league are pretty much well and truly gone, but we still have Champions League silverware to play for. And we also look at our new edition, which might help us with the league next year, Andreas Berta.
That's all in part 1. And then in part 2, Ben?
Well, in part 2, Maddie, let's look at how our women have gone while they've been on international duty for their countries.
And talking of countries, how the men's team will be touring in Asia before the start of next season.
They will be, and more to share in a moment. But before we get to our content, a quick reminder to follow, like, and subscribe so that we can continue to grow our Arsenal Kids community together with you.
Because we would love for you to join us on this adventure together.
We would indeed. And Maddie, while we have a possible Champions League semi-final just around the corner, we still had some slim hopes of Premier League glory going into our home game against Brentford. And it was our player of the Real Madrid clash, Declan Rice, who made 2 chances at the start of the game. One for Nwaneri that was charged down, and another for Martinelli, who had a near post shot go out for a corner.
But that was about the extent of the highlights in opening 20 minutes.
But then we did have the ball in the net before our very first VAR semi-automated offside system overturned the on-field decision, as Kieran Tierney did not quite time his run. Then we had one of the most obvious red cards not given in the game when Christian Norgard dived in with what was a potential leg breaker on Gabriel Martinelli, but the referee, as seems to be the case with Arsenal, only issued him a yellow.
It meant we went into half-time break level.
But on the hour mark, we took the lead through a simply stunning counter-attack. David Raya claimed a Brentford corner inside a crowded penalty area, and like he often tries to do, he immediately rolled the ball out to Declan Rice, who strode forward and then turned on his turbo boosters, carrying the ball some 70 yards before slipping a pass to the overlapping Thomas Partey, who rammed his shot high into the roof of the net. From box to box in the blink of the eye, and 1-0 to the Gunners.
We then made some changes to try to take full control of the match.
We did, but it was Brentford who struck next. We didn't clear the danger from a corner well enough, and when the second cross came back in, Visas finished it well, meaning it was back to square one.
We then had to play the final 10 minutes with only 10 men.
Yes, this time it wasn't due to a red card, and instead it was because Jorginho went off injured after we'd already made all 5 of our allowable substitutions. Despite a few chances, thanks to good work from Saka, we were not able to do enough to get the winning goal on this occasion, and the draw, together with other results around the league over the weekend, means that it is nigh on impossible now for us to win the Premier League this season. So our attention, it turns to the midweek game against Real Madrid, where we are in a good position to take advantage.
But what about next season, Ben? You said we made an addition that might help us then.
You are correct, Maddie, and that is the news that the club has brought in a new sporting director to replace Edu, and that is Andreas Berta, who is a hugely respected figure in world football and brings with him a wealth of knowledge and experience, having worked in technical roles for Italian sides Carpendolo, Parma and Genoa, And most recently, he's been in Spain working for Atletico Madrid.
What was his role with the team in Madrid, Ben?
Well, Maddie, Andreas spent almost 12 years with the club and played a major role in shaping the squads which won La Liga titles in 2013-14 season and the 2021 season, and also the Europa League in 2018. During his time with the team, Atleti also made 2 UEFA Champions League finals, and at Arsenal we know that Andreas, he understands our values and what we stand for, and he's going to help us to build a winning team that will help us to push on and take the next steps in our bid to win major trophies.
Sounds pretty impressive.
Well, let's hope so, Maddie. He has a big job to start with, trying to find a new forward to fit into our team, because even with the ones we have returning from injury, I think we are still light in attacking options on the pitch. So let's hope he does well for the club in the near future.
Okay, let's leave it there for part 1. We'll be right back after this with part number 2. Welcome back. And Ben, how did women go representing their countries over the past few weeks?
Well, Maddie, so many of them were in action, so I won't go through all of the ins and outs of each and every single player, but I want to highlight that it was good to see Victoria Pelova being picked for the Netherlands squad for the first time since she sustained her ACL injury in June of last year. And it was also good to see Amanda Illerstedt join up with Sweden for the first time since she had been on maternity leave. So well done to both of those players.
But what about the action, Ben? Anyone score their goal or get any assist?
Well, Maddie, in the first round of fixtures, Beth Mead got an assist for the third goal of England's 5-0 victory over Belgium. And Katie McCabe also got an assist after she whipped in a corner for Jessie Stapleton to score from in the Republic of Ireland's 4-0 win away to Greece.
And what about in the second round of the game? Any more good news?
Well, Maddie, it really doesn't get any better than Michelle Adjumang making her dream senior debut for the England Lionesses, as she scored with her very first touch just 41 seconds after coming off the substitutes bench. She was ably assisted by England captain and Arsenal teammate Leah Williamson, and Beth Mead also scored in that game from the penalty spot, as England, however, went on to lose 3-2 against Belgium. In Spain, it was Mariona Caldente who had a great game, providing a hat-trick of assists and scoring a goal as Spain thumped Portugal 7-1.
And what about the juniors? Any luck for young Gunners?
Well, Maddie, Michelle Adjumang actually played with the England under-19s in their first game, scoring twice, with Viviana Leah and Jessie Gale also scoring. Arsenal players in their 5-1 win over Austria. And then in the second game, Gale bagged another, and even centre-back Katie Reid got in on the goal-scoring action as England won 10-0.
Awesome work. Now, moving on, and Ben, you said the Gunners were going to be near us for their pre-season tour.
That is correct, Maddie. There are 3 games that the Gunners have lined up in Asia in late July as part of their tour in our Confederation of Football. The first of those is a game against AC Milan on Wednesday, 23rd July, before they'll take on Newcastle United on Sunday, 27 July, with both of those games being played in the 55,000-seat capacity National Stadium in Singapore.
And then we have a North London hit-out.
Yes, we do, Maddie, but it is not in North London. No, we're going to be instead playing our rivals Tottenham Hotspur on Thursday, July 31, as the last part of this tour to the part of the world, with the game to take place in the 50,000-seat capacity Kai Tak Stadium in Hong Kong. These games are going to see the men's first team squad returning to the region for the first time since 2012. So it is good that they'll be back after 13 years, and I hope that it means that maybe a visit back to Australia is also not too far away either.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up. Thanks again for this episode. Thanks again for joining us at Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Before we sign off, we want to express our gratitude for your continued support. If you haven't already, please follow, like, and subscribe so you don't miss us in the future. Remember, your love for the beautiful game is what fuels our passion.
We would love for you to spread the word about Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Yes, please share our podcast with other Arsenal kids you know and help us to grow this amazing community together.
We hope to join you back on the pitch again soon.
Keep the spirit of the game alive, and until next time,
Goodbye.